Hey guys, Sid and David here with our very first YouTube video.
We have been trading for over a decade each in traditional markets, but started dabbling in cryptocurrencies about a year ago, and have been exploring multiple opportunities that allow us to build additional income streams and wanted to share our experiences with you.
So in today's video, we're going to show you how we each make over $200 per day using a few platforms online that allow us to lend and mine Bitcoin for profit. And in coming videos, we're also going to show you our portfolios and how we invest and trade multiple cryptocurrencies along with the strategies that we personally use. We're also going to be exploring a few different ICOs every week and giving you our take on how those might pan out.
Now, before we get started, I just want to make a quick disclaimer that we are not financial advisors. While we have experience trading and experimenting in various markets, whatever you see in these videos isn't advice. It's just a record of what we are trying out in order to create additional side income streams for ourselves.
So while the bulk of our side income comes from trading and investing, we figured it would be easiest to start out our YouTube channel with a video something more straightforward and accessible. Cloud mining is so simple that anyone can do it, and we've been using Hashflow for about 3 months now, and have seen fantastic results. So let me walk you through my account and show you exactly how it works.
So this is the Hashflow platform that we use to do all of our mining. Over here you can see our total Bitcoin balance. You can see the payout from the previous day as well. This blue line shows you my balance over time and how it's changed. You can see when it drops down to zero from those peaks, that's usually when I've reinvested my money or when I've withdrawn. And the last few weeks I've been reinvesting pretty heavily, so that's why you see a lot of downtime over there. And each of these blue bars represent the daily payout that I've gotten in Bitcoin terms from the platform. Now, we'll go over in a separate video later about the difference between withdrawing and reinvesting and how that whole process works. But for now, let me just show you the platform itself. So Hashflow allows you to mine different coins with different algorithms. As you can see here, the one I use is SHA-256, but you can also mine Ethereum and Zcash. But after running all the numbers, to me it just makes so much more sense to only mine Bitcoin since that's the most profitable right now. So as you can see over here, I have about 116.8 terahash. Each of these blue bars shows you the daily income I'm making per terahash. This over here shows you the pool that I'm in, and based on your pool settings, you'll earn slightly different amount of Bitcoin every day. As of now, Ampool is the most profitable. We'll show you how to pick your pools later and how to come up with a strategy for diversifying if you choose to diversify. And off of 116.8 terahash, this is the kind of income you can expect. So looking here, you see that I should be making around $240 a day if every day were like this. That's gross revenue though. Net revenue is a little bit different because Hashflow does have to charge their fee. So if we scroll down here, you can see the payout and the maintenance. Maintenance basically takes care of all the electricity, the pool fees, the actual hardware maintenance that Hashflow has to do for taking care of the physical miners that they have, which we use to get our Bitcoin on the cloud. I really like this interface because it shows you everything from the payouts to the maintenance to every time you've reinvested, and it's very clear as to what date, what time all of these transactions occurred, so it's easy to keep a log. It also shows you every time you've withdrawn and to what address, along with pretty much every little bit of information that you need to know. So now what I'm going to do is show you how I predict how much I'm going to make using mining. A lot of people like to use coinwars.com, but I like to use this Excel sheet over here. And what it does is it allows you to input the price of the terahash, price of Bitcoin, what you think is going to happen to the price of Bitcoin and difficulty over every 2 weeks, which is when difficulty gets reset, along with the current difficulty and how much you're planning on reinvesting. So if you take all those variables together, you'll be able to see where you'll end up in 1 year. So in this base case over here, you can see that I'm not planning on reinvesting anything, and I'm just going to see if I invest my money in Hashflow versus investing my money in just Bitcoin outright, where am I going to end up? And over here, my calculator is showing me that I'm better off actually investing in Hashflow because I'm going to make roughly twice as much as I would have if I were to just have invested in Bitcoin, given these assumptions. This second tab is a little bit more interesting because this is where reinvestment comes into play. Now, for the sake of simplicity, I've just have it, reinvest every other day. This is not the optimal strategy by any means. It's just easy for illustrative purposes. I'm personally still figuring out what the best way of reinvesting is. I would assume that it would actually be reinvesting a lot up front and then harvesting a little bit later. But you can see even with this arbitrary strategy that if the assumptions are the same, you'd actually make about $10,000 more in the year than you would if you were to not reinvest or compound at all. So I urge you to play around with this calculator and figure out what the best settings are, and why don't you even post them in the comments below so we can all discuss each of our strategies and figure out together what the best way to do this is. If you'd like to try out this calculator for yourself, all you have to do is click the link below to our website and input your email. The download is free, and you can make any changes and any inputs to the calculator that you want. And hopefully we'll all figure out what the optimal strategy is over time as we discuss it in the comments in this video.
Go. The second platform we use is BitConnect. BitConnect claims to be a platform that uses the Bitcoin you lend them on a trading robot that earns them daily profit, which they use to pay the lenders back every day, usually a little under 1% per day. I'd just like to say neither of us believe that BitConnect actually has a trading bot, but they actually have been paying out consistently, largely due to the rapid increase in Bitcoin's price in the last year. It's currently one of the most popular platforms on YouTube, and while we are convinced it's a scam, we put a small amount of money in just to test it out. In no way do we recommend hopping in on this, but if you do want to take a wild risk, we have left a link in the description below.
So now we're going to do a quick overview of the BitConnect platform. Tomorrow, David will show you an actual video of how to set everything up and make your loans and all of that good stuff. But for now, I'm just going to show you the total investment that I've made, what I've earned, and how I keep a record of everything. So overall, I've put in about $3,000 into this platform. And in a second, I'll show you the transaction logs that show the conversions between dollars, BitConnect tokens, and Bitcoin, and how that works. But over here, you can see this is where you would transfer money in and out of BitConnect. And remember, you pay them in Bitcoin, but they pay you out in dollars. So you have to go through that entire conversion loop again in order to get out. But more about that in another video. Over here is a record of my daily payouts. You can see the numbers different every day, but the average is usually around 0.87%. That number is substantially lower than before, I suspect because this might be drawing closer towards an end. But for now, they've still been paying out very consistently in dollars. And over here, you can see that you initially get paid out in dollars, but have to convert to BitConnect tokens before converting to Bitcoin. And here's a record of all of those transactions. Now, in order to actually convert your tokens into Bitcoin, you have to head over to the BitConnect exchange. And that'll allow you to sell your BitConnect for Bitcoin, which you would eventually transfer out back to your wallet or back to the exchange wherever you hold all your Bitcoin. Now, the best way to do this is instead of using the last price that they have over here, that's the automatic choice, you should try to become the best ask. So all that means is you have to have a price that's marginally lower than the highest number on this side, and that'll make sure that your order gets filled immediately, because some days these prices move really quickly and you might not actually have a chance to get your order out on a really volatile day. So we're going to make another video later that shows you how to go through this process of making your own loan and how everything works, the best strategy to use in order to actually do this if you choose to take this risk. But I can't say this enough, I am sure that they don't actually have a trading bot, so be careful before making this investment if you choose to go down this road.
So now you've seen the two platforms that we use to make money passively using Bitcoin every day. We've left links to each of these below, as David mentioned, if you want to join. Personally, if I had to pick between the two, I would pick Hashflow, even though their referral system isn't as great as BitConnect's. At least we know that they are owned by a large mining hardware company, and that gives me a whole lot of comfort.
In the coming weeks, we'll be trying out new platforms and be giving our feedback to everyone on the channel. Hopefully we find some new ones that are as sustainable as Hashflow.
Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch our video. If you thought it was useful, please hit like and subscribe. we've decided that after we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're gonna actually be giving away Bitcoin once a week. So all you'd have to do to get a chance to win is leave a comment and your wallet address below. So good luck, and look forward to seeing you next time.